Alright, what's up guys, it's Tristan Willcock, aka my last video got 200 views. So I'll remind you in this one that I'm giving away my Up Hyper Beast. We're gonna be doing a 1v1 tournament at 6 p.m. Athens time on this Monday. So if you want to compete to beat me in a 1v1 and take my Up Hyper Beast, be there by joining the Discord server that I created for the tournament. Link is in the description. Go join the Discord server, play in the 1v1 tournament, and you may also be featured in the video that I'm gonna make out of it. Alright, now back to topic. A lot of people want to invest in play skins right now. I've seen a lot of people who want to invest in knives. My previous video on knives, which I made like a couple months ago, is popping off right now. So I thought I'd make a more updated video because that video is super outdated. It's 2 months ago, old information. So here we go. But before we get into it, this video is brought to you by Skins Monkey, the best instant skins trading site, where you can also buy skins for cheaper than the Steam market by topping up your balance on the site and using code Willcock to get a 35% bonus on your deposit. Skins Monkey is also offering you up to $5 for free if you trade at least $10 worth of skins on the site. This is a great site to use if you're looking to buy something new or trade your boring old skins for something fresh and new. They also have a lot more pleasant surprises for you, so hop onto Skins Monkey by using the link in the description of the video and use code Willcock to get bonus free money when you make a deposit. Thank you very much, Skins Monkey. Now let's get straight to the video. Alright man, so first of all, for the rest of the video, I'm gonna include this Subway Surfers gameplay underneath me because people's attention span seem to be so bad nowadays and I just need something to fix that. So here we go. Let's talk about the best knives to buy right now to invest for CS2 because we're betting for the best knives in terms of ROI when it comes to the potential they have to grow once the game brings new players into the market. So first of all, I'm going to talk about gun knives. These have already gone up in price quite a lot recently. They weren't this expensive, at least the high tier gun knives like the lore skins, the fade skins, slaughter skins, all of the good looking ones weren't so expensive back in the day, but now none of them are sub 100. At least the slaughter knife that I have is 240 euro, I believe. You can go for some cheaper god knives potentially because they do have the potential to grow as well. A boreal forest knife does have potential to grow, believe it or not. We've seen bayonet knives grow from super cheap to very expensive throughout these years, and boreal forest bayonet knives are not an exception to this rule. This did happen to them too, which makes me believe that lower tier god knives do have potential to grow as well at the moment, and they're quite cheap if you look at them. So the new players who will come to CS2 and want a knife, they will probably go for a god knife if they see it's as cheap as it is with the low tier skins. And the reason I'm saying they probably go with a god knife is because the god knife does have a pretty interesting animation. It changes up your knife animations quite a bit, so this is why I like god knives in the first place. It's because of the animations. So low tier god knives I think should be a valid investment at the moment. Next up, I'm going to talk about shadow daggers as well. I think the same thing, the exact same thing applies over here too, because shadow daggers have got quite expensive in the last few months because of the fact that Valve has said they fixed the screen shake problem in CS2. Now a lot of people though are waiting to buy shadow daggers in CS2 because, I don't know, some people do not believe the screen shake is fixed for some reason, even though Valve have said that it is. So I've seen a lot of people say that they want to buy shadow daggers if the screen shake is fixed, but they haven't done it yet, and they're probably gonna buy shadow daggers once CS2 is released. So shadow daggers are definitely a valid investment as well at the moment, and I think you could go for the low tier shadow daggers as well. There are some skins for shadow daggers that are considered low tier. They're very inexpensive, but they are good looking. Like, I think the Knight shadow daggers are quite cheap. One other skin, I think it's called Stained, and it doesn't look stained at all. It looks very clean, so maybe you could go for that as well. Well, last but not least, I'm going to talk about survival knives right now. Survival knife is kind of a weird knife. Players in CSGO who are familiar with the older knives do not give it too much attention, even though the higher tier survival knives are quite expensive. If you look at some of them like the Case Hardened or the Crimson Web, you can get some of the worst conditions for significantly cheaper than the better ones or the higher tier skins. And I think the new players coming into CS2 will give some attention to this knife because the name survival knife, it sounds cool, it sounds very familiar, it sounds very welcoming. People will be able to guess what a knife called survival knife looks like, but one called Navaya or Talon or whatever I don't think it will be too familiar to them, so it is logical for new players to flock to this knife. If they see that some skins like the Crimson Web in Battle Scar condition are as cheap as they are, they'll probably go for these and force the price to go up sooner or later. Yeah man, it's got interesting animations as well, so it is a knife that people will probably at least consider buying when looking for a nice knife to change up their loadout. So I think it's got potential as well. Even though it's not as cheap as some of the God knives or the Shadow daggers, I think it's still good. Real quick, one honorable mention is the Ursus knife. I was told by a YouTube comment that the Ursus knife is very popular in Valorant, so I expect a lot of players to come from Valorant to CS2 because they will realize that Valorant is gayest, because they will realize that Valorant is the inferior game. If this knife is popular in Valorant, maybe new players will flock to it in CSGO as well. I don't know, but I feel like I had to mention it just because somebody said it. If you also believe in this knife, you can go for the Ursus Ultraviolet, maybe the Case Hardened perhaps. Some of the lower tier skins as well, they're pretty cheap, like 150, 200 bucks. So yeah, you can go for those as well. And these were the best knives that you can buy to invest into CS2, the new updated and improved version of the video. So you are very welcome. So yeah man, thank you for watching the video. Let's try to get this channel to 5k subs before the end of the month, and if we manage to do that, I'm gonna give away some crazy knives to you guys. I'm already giving away my up hyper beast to you guys in a 1v1 tournament, so I'm pretty much the nicest YouTuber on the platform, so show some respect by liking the video and subscribing, and yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Peace.